Let's Science is brought to you by the StarQuest Production Network and is made possible by our many generous patrons. If you'd like to support the podcast, please visit sqpn.com/give.
3, 2, 1.
We live in a universe of scientific wonders.
Every day, scientists are inching towards breakthroughs which can change our lives.
We're playing our small part in sharing these wonders with you.
That's why today is a fine day for science.
So let's science.
So last time, Lino and I talked about pussas punching fish, and that was a lot of fun.
That was interesting, Lindsay. I didn't even know octopuses can be such bullies at times. No, I would just say
they can be jerks.
They're just organising.
I don't know.
They're very smart creatures, aren't they?
You fish, get over there.
Intelligent.
Organising the chaos and keeping the guys all in check. Is that the right way to put it in? Yeah, I think it is.
Yeah, that's right. Keeping everyone in check, yeah. They're the teachers of the ocean.
Everyone in check. Teachers of the ocean.
But Caroline, we're going to go into the past and we're going to talk about our eight-legged friends. So I'm going to pass this over to you. Go for it, Caroline.
Yeah, so it depends which way you look at these. I think they're cute fairy animals. I think most people don't, but that's okay. You can make up your mind at the end of this discussion.
I'm sorry, Caroline. You didn't hear the total silence when you said that.
I know.
Cute and fairy. All I hear is crickets. Yeah.
It was loud silence. Anyway, so today I'll be talking about dinosaur-era trapdoor spider fossils. What? Yeah, so cool. It is cool. Fossils of a spider living between 11 and 16 million years ago. Yes, spiders existed all that time ago. In Australia, have recently been discovered in New South Wales. It's only the fourth specimen of its kind ever to be found in Australia, so it's pretty rare. The findings were published recently in the Zoological Journal of the Linnean Society. This spider is named Megamonodontium McCluskey, and it is related to the modern Monodontium genus of spiders. It is the brush-footed trapdoor spider, and trapdoor spiders can still be found living today, only this spider is bigger than the ones living today. Like everything back then, it was a lot bigger, right?
That's the part that concerns me, is the bigger always.
Now, look, in the context of things, it's not actually that large. It is larger than the ones living today. So it's measures at imagine 5 centimeters, like 50 millimeters from head to toe. Yep. Its abdomen's kind of a good chunky 10 millimeters, so a good centimeter.
Please don't use the word chunky when talking about spiders.
And its legs, look, it was Halloween recently, let's just get into it. And its legs are about 20 to 25 millimeters long. So, yeah, a spider that's about 5 centimeters, which in anyone's experience would be pretty scary if you didn't see it coming your way, right?
But we're not talking Shelob size, so that's okay. I can do this.
It's not massive. There are large spiders, very large spiders, but this isn't one of them. We're talking about the Aussie ones here.
Yeah.
So if you've ever seen like a wolf spider, they're quite common here in Australia. In the wild, they can get quite big. Or if you've been lucky to keep one as a pet, as I have before, don't judge me. It's a really beautiful pet. They can be. Marilyn still has a tarantula. Yes, our sister Lindsay. Yes, it's actually gorgeous. Don't judge until you spent time with a spider.
Yeah. Actually, I agree. Because she did have a series of spiders at one point, and they were all actually
had a lot.
They were actually really nice pets. The only one that freaked me out was the huntsman. I don't know why.
Because they're quick.
Yeah. Every time I looked at
if they're coming out, they're quick, right?
So my wife Isabel was really mean. I was staring at the huntsman going, oh, that's interesting. And she tapped me on the back and I went, it's like,
yeah. I know you're not a spider fan.
Yeah, I don't mind. I think spiders are actually beautiful creatures too. Yeah, huntsman's
You've come a long way because I've never heard you say that.
There was a time. There was a time, I'll tell you what, all right? But huntsmen still, I don't know, something just makes me tingly with that.
They're beautiful. I love in summer when they come out on your walls and eat all the bugs.
See what I mean? There's a spider for everyone, right? That one's just not for me. There's a spider for everyone.
That's fine. That's fine. There are spiders for everyone. Anyway, so you know that spiders can be chunky if you've seen chunky ones in the wild before.
Yep. Yes.
Yes. So these guys were little chunkers, right? Okay. Ooh. So now trapdoor spiders living in Australia today really only get up to about 3.5 centimeters, which is still a good little size. And and they can be found across eastern and southern Australia. So we have them in our area. And they are brown, they're stout in nature, and they are hairy. Usually you find them while moving rocks in your garden. Anyone done that before? And a little spider's jumped out? It's probably been one of those.
Yep.
Or a wolf spider. And yes, I've gotten a fright in the garden before, but then I think, oh, how cute. Anyway, now, trapdoor spiders, some of them are known for making a hinged door, and they scare you as they pop out of nowhere.
Oh, yeah, they can do that.
But yeah, they do. But most of them make burrows, and then they like to lie await for their prey to come along. Their burrows can be about 4 centimeters long, and the spiders line them with a silky web. And they like to eat any suspecting beetles or cockroaches or crickets or slaters or sometimes even other spiders. And like their role in the environment really is to help keep control of these critters. Who wants a million cockroaches in your garden?
That makes
right?
sense.
Let the spiders
Totally
eat them.
makes sense. Yeah.
So everyone's got to eat, right?
Yep.
So these spiders are quite long-lived, so they can have a lifespan of 5 to 20 years. So a lot of insects would usually die after a couple months maybe, mostly. But these are they live years, couple of decades. Females spend most of their lives in burrows, while the male has a shorter life than females. They leave their burrows on reaching maturity to seek a mate. They can give you a nasty bite, unfortunately.
Oh, yeah, they can
these
be.
ones.
Yep.
Like everything cute in Australia, don't touch
Yes.
it.
Don't
okay?
touch it. That's the rule. It's cute, but don't touch it.
That's right.
Yeah.
Goes for spiders, goes for koalas. Just don't touch it, right? It can cause pain and swelling, but it's not poisonous. So that's the good news. But never, ever touch a spider. Never pick a spider up. Unless it's your pet one, you know it very well. But if it's out in the wild, don't touch it. And if you do get bitten, just a side note, go get help, medical help. So today, the close relatives of the brush-footed trapdoor spider is very small and can be found living in rainforests in Singapore, Indonesia, and Papua New Guinea. That is the one that is related to the fossil. So the fossilized spider was found at McGrath Flat near the regional town Gulgong in New South Wales. It was discovered quite recently in 2020 by Dr. Simon McCluskey, who's an associate professor of geophysics, and obviously the spider's been named after him. When it was living, Megamonodontium lived about 23 million years ago in the Miocene period in lush, warm and wet rainforest. And like I've talked about other animals millions of years ago, like those eras, this was an era rich in variety of plant and animal life. So the spider would have hunted in the surrounding area where researchers have also found fossilized plants, giant cicadas and wasps. So it would have been a great environment for the trapdoor to live. However, over time, as Australia's become more arid, as it approached the middle Miocene disruption, which occurred about 14 million years ago, so it dried up a bit. So this is why the closest living spider no longer lives on the Australian continent. They've become extinct. And the area where the spiders used to live is now an area of grassland. So the finding of this fossil has been very important. Not only is it the 4th type of this fossil found in Australia, 4, okay, so pretty rare, but being part of the family Barrichellidae, it is only one of its kind found worldwide. So it's very significant because this has been difficult to put together the evolutionary history of the spider because of the rarity, and its discovery has actually provided a lot of much needed information. So also like the modern day trapdoors, it would have lived in burrows, and maybe it wasn't in the right environment for preservation, so that hence why it's so rare. So luckily, a few of these spiders were preserved so well that even the cellular structures could be made out. So luckily, the ones we do have are great. They could see details of claws, the setae on the spider's pedipalps. So setae are the stiff, thick-walled hairs that help the spider sense chemicals and vibrations and to defend the spider from attackers, and sometimes can also make sounds.
Oh, wow.
And the pedipalps are those appendages that look like legs at the front of the spider. but they're usually used for sensing the environment and in manipulating objects. So if you see a trapdoor spider that looks like it has 10 legs, it's not 10 legs, it's the two at front of those pedipalps that I just mentioned.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So they could also image the legs and its main body in the fossils, and this is how they did classify it as a trapdoor spiders. So like these fossils of the spiders are really quite nicely preserved. So if you dare to go look at the links that
I'm looking,
were
going through them.
Yep.
Yes.
Even if you're not a spider fan, I recommend looking at them and having a look.
Yeah. When you look at it, it's undeniably a trapdoor spider. It's the detail in this fossil is just incredible.
Isn't it amazing? So,
what a find.
So just like today, back then, spiders were very important in our environment. Don't kill them when you see them, please. Just let them be. If they're in your house, get a jar. Just cover it with a jar, slip a paper under it, or get the lid and just put it outside. And remember, they are God's creation as well. They're not evil little beings. And even if they're one of the more scary ones. But yeah, so spiders is such a great article, I thought, because we know now that spiders in Australia did exist millions of years ago, and we get to study them, and they're really not so much different than the ones today.
Yep. True.
So
that is
amazing.
True.
Yeah.
I just wanted to point out, Caroline, that in the article from Indy 100, so you know how there's those 6 images of the different types of trapdoor spiders, they're the modern ones.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've got it in front of you, but so they've got some on sand, trees, grass, whatever else.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that image E, that one's on a human hand.
It looks like it's on a hand.
He's holding that spider.
Yes, you're right.
He or she is holding that.
That person is very brave or stupid,
That
one of
person
the
has,
two, and is holding it.
I'm sure it was done for science.
But you see how round their abdomen is, and their body. It's just like
undeniable feature, isn't it? Yeah. Yep.
It's really, they're really little chunkers.
Yeah.
They're really, They're probably one of the more scary looking ones, I have to admit.
Yeah.
But they're still beautiful. They still have a role to play in the environment.
Of course.
And
when you think about it, spiders, they're not scary. This is from a person who used to be freaked out when I was young by spiders.
This is a big thing that you're saying, right?
I know,
yeah.
right? But I'm sure it's things like the movie Arachnophobia and some of these other things that kind of really jacked up the fear of spiders.
Probably. Same for sharks, how they've done that with Jaws.
Yeah, and sharks are actually beautiful creatures. They're not, yes, we do have some unfortunate incidences here in Australia of shark attacks and so on, but it's not like they're actively hunting humans, and spiders are not actively hunting humans.
They're not there to...
No, spiders are just being spiders, right? They can't help the way they look. Some of us are uglier than others, right? We can't help it.
And they don't,
and spiders are not the best looking.
And if you see one in your house, yes, you might see a giant huntsman. We've actually had this myself, right? Giant huntsman, whatever. But trying to chase you. It's not like they're trying to catch the humans in the house and kill them or whatever. All right, they've unfortunately come in and they do raise the hairs on the back of your neck a little bit. But
do you know why they come into your house?
Because they thought they were invited.
Because there's food. Yeah. And you know what the food is? Bugs.
Yes.
So let the spiders come in and eat those bugs, right?
Yeah.
Exactly.
So I think I'm not going to tell the whole story, it will take forever, but you know the story about the giant shelob spider that was in my house and I had to put a container over it. Oh my gosh, but I started doing it maybe a decade ago.
That's a moment of bravery for you.
But I do it now. I don't kill them or vacuum them or whatever. I'll get a container and some cardboard and take them outside and please don't come back. I'm happy for you to live. Just don't come back here, please. I hope you had all the bugs you want. Yeah.
If you don't like it in your house, that is fair enough. Yeah. But try to remove it humanely.
Gently, that's it, exactly, But if it's cockroach, sorry, you're gone. Yeah, you're out of there. Because there are thousands of those.
That's another story.
That's actually interesting. That fossil, though, just going back to it, like I said, the detail on that is incredible. I really encourage if you're listening to check out the links that Caroline sent because the information on those is nice and detailed. And just being able to look at, again, this is a very rare fossil, like you said. This, one of 4 in Australia, you said? Yeah. And you can see very clearly a lot of the details of this trapdoor spider.
What an amazing moment it would have been to find that. It's just crazy.
And how cool is it that its name is Megamonodontium McCluskey?
Dontium,
Yeah, lucky guy.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
I also, now this is slightly related on a different tangent. Was there a recent story. I don't know if you heard of this. Did you hear about the recent story about how they were extracting, I think it was venom from a particular spider to help heart attack victims or something to do with hearts, I think it was. That
possibly. Yeah.
Might have to look it up. So,
they're always finding.
Yeah,
they're
I'm
always
pulling this
finding,
out of the blue, but
I mean, there's a lot of pharmaceuticals in nature.
Yeah.
It's just a matter of finding them. I think we got a lot of medicine that has been derived from plants and things, so that wouldn't surprise me at all.
Yeah. So now, this is just a quick Google search, but there's a spider venom heart drug that's moving to clinical trials. Now, I'm not going to go into details; it's going to take forever. But you just reminded me of that because of that, because of that story. And about the idea of not killing, because actually there are, like you said, within nature, there are cures for things that scientists are finding as well.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Let's Science is brought to you by StarQuest Media and is a fortnightly podcast that brings you the scientific wonders of our universe from a distinctly Catholic point of view. For more from Caroline, Lindsay, and friends, listen to the StarQuest show, Catholics of Oz. Find links from today's show at sqpn.com/science. And find the Catholics of Oz at sqpn.com/Oz. Be sure to follow the show in Apple Podcasts, Google Play, wherever you can find podcasts, or on the SQPN YouTube channel. The generous donations of our patrons at sqpn.com/give make it possible for us to continue Let's Science and all the shows at StarQuest, which makes our nonprofit mission possible. You can join them by visiting sqpn.com/give. Join us next time for more scientific wonders, and thank you for listening to Let's Science on StarQuest. Here's another show on the StarQuest Network you're sure to enjoy, The Secrets of Sacred Art. Find it wherever fine podcasts are found, or at starquest.fm/art.